Well, I'm going to take some pictures of the fireworks. It's New Year's Eve. Happy New Year, everyone. If you celebrated New Year, I hope you had a good one. And here we are on the 2nd of January 2025. And I suspect the beginning of a turbulent year. And those of you who watch this channel on a fairly regular basis will know that every now and again I'll do videos of kind of walk and talk or rants and reflections videos where I'll talk about current affairs or politics. And it's been momentous in the UK, and it's going to be momentous across the world this year. And I know people are right across the spectrum, those who absolutely detest and fear Trump, to those that think he's the second coming. And to a lesser extent, they feel the same. People on both sides feel the same way about Starmer here in the UK. And as I say, I do these videos every now and again where I try and make sense of what's going on. And I don't endeavour to stay in the middle ground. But I try to be rational as best I possibly can. And normally what happens is that, I'm thinking about things for a little while, a few weeks, and then I think, oh, well, I need to somehow kind of just capture what sense I can make of this situation, and I'll make a video. But I'm really struggling. I'm really struggling in that regard, because I don't know whether it's confusion or whether it's just the really high emotions associated with these changes in our politics. So, but anyway, that's for later or to come. I will eventually make sense of that. But today I'm going to do a tag. Now, a couple of things about the tag. We all know now, those of you in the vinyl community, that Edwin, Pretty Green Vinyl guy, put together a vinyl tag and released it at the beginning of December to much controversy, really. The questions are pretty good. So I am going to do the 2025 vinyl tag. So don't worry about that. But it came out early, and so what I did is I realised that I'd only done a couple of vinyl tags, and so I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll go back, because I just didn't know, because I've not been in the vinyl community that long. I'll go back and pick the best questions from 4 or 5 years of vinyl tags that I never considered first time around. So I did that now, and I put it out, and it's called Vinyl Tag Redux. And I did that early in December with the intention of kind of filling the gap between the beginning of December and January, when I'll get around to doing the 2025 vinyl tag proper. I thought, well, why don't I have a bit of a practice? And a few other people have done it. And yesterday I saw a video from Norman Maslow, Mazzy, who mentioned my vinyl tag Redux. And furthermore, I think he actually called it official. And well, it is official, because it's based not on my creativity. It's based completely on other people's questions. I think mostly Rob Walker's from earlier years. So that is kind of official, but I would never call it official. But Mazzy, if you see this, thanks for mentioning it. And it is surprising a few people have been doing it, and I didn't really expect to do that. But it's not in competition with the Vinyl Tag 2025. Anyway, there's a lot of tags around. I know a lot of them are dropped at midnight, New Year's Eve, and I thought I'm not going to get involved in the flurry, because I haven't had time to actually go and view all these videos, and that I'll go through them in due course. And I thought, well, I'm not going to get caught up in the melee. I'll do something. I'll do the 2025 vinyl tag in a couple of weeks' time, when I need a bit of inspiration. And I've already been thinking about it, so I've got questions or prompts and answers amongst this little lot here. But there's also some others. There's a CD, in addition to my Redux one, there is a CD tag, which is good questions. I'm going to do that. There is a soundtrack, one that's been around for a little while. I'm going to do that one too. MGK Boston's putting out a tag or competition in the next few days, which I will definitely do because he's one of the good guys. What else have we got here? John, the 6-inch pianist, has put out a soul tag, which I'm definitely going to do as well. That's great. Some good questions and prompts there. But I'm playing catch up today. I'm going to do, not as a reflection of the of my forecast for 2025, but just I want to get the bad stuff out of the way first. So I'm going to do the Sad Bastard final tag of 2024, which was done by John, the Digital Gramophone, a few weeks ago. Great questions again. So here we go for the Sad Bastard vinyl tag. And I'm going to go answer the prompts, maybe quote a few lyrics along the way. So number one, there's only 13 questions here, so it won't take too long. Famous last words. An overplayed sad song. Well, it's not on this album, but it's by Whitney Houston, and it is I Will Always Love You. And it was overplayed when it was out. I don't have the soundtrack to The Bodyguard. It was from the film The Bodyguard, which I've never seen. But man, have I heard that song so many times. I'm familiar with the Dolly Parton's original, and that is a sad song. But when you hear Whitney Houston's, and there's a moment in the song where the drums kick in and she goes through that chorus again, and it's just like toe curling. It's too much for me. Anyway, fantastic singer, troubled lady who left us too early, I guess. But yeah, I detest that song. Question number 2. You're listening to an album and somebody walks in and says, "What is this sad bastard shit?" I'm sure that was said to me when I was sharing a flat with some mates and I was playing this album, October On, by Barclay James Harvest. Now, who's Barclay James Harvest? Quickly. They are kind of a progressive band. They were super unfashionable because all the London-based cool journalists couldn't be asked to go up to Greater Manchester, Oldham, to interview these guys. They weren't edgy enough for them. But they based their career on Strawberry Fields Forever. Loads of Mellotron in the early albums on the Harvest label. And then they move to Polydor. And was this the first? No, this was the second Polydor album, I think. No, third Polydor album. Everyone is Everyone, Everybody Else, and Time Honored Ghosts, and now October On. Now this closes with a track which I don't think you can say on YouTube without it getting some sort of a warning. But it's this track here. Let me see if I can show it to you. It's that one. Can you see it? That word there. So the lyrics. So the early Barclay James Harvest, they used to have their guitar, Mellotron, or keyboards, mostly Mellotron, bass, and drums. Now, around when they moved to Polydor, I think they must have been advised to say, look, do more guitar and not so much Mellotron, kind of just adapt your sound a little bit. And John Lees, the guitarist, I think he was double tracking his guitar, and so it had this real chiming tone to it, kind of high pitch, very much based upon melody, no shredding. It was just very stately in the way that he played. And this song is a perfect example of it. It runs about 7 minutes, I think. And it's just got this beautiful guitar line which completely dominates the song. But let me read the lyrics. There's not many of them. It says here, it's obviously this guy who's kind of ending his days. I woke up to a feeling it was cold by my side. Oh, she's gone. You had gone with the sunrise, leaving tears in my eyes. I got up with a feeling of an emptiness inside, to the noise of the sidewalk and the silence of my mind. Well, I walked out this morning down a street with no name to a club called The Loser, like a dog that's gone lame. Took the club elevator to the floor with a view. I took out life subscription, insurance I guess, it's the only one they do. I stepped out on the guardrail, saw the crowds slowly part, heard a voice shouting, "Don't jump, please for God's sake, let me move my car." Felt a hand on my shoulder, heard a voice cry just in time, felt the quick push, felt the air rush, felt the sidewalk fell in line. And it's beautiful, but at the end, what they did, they actually strapped microphones to a dummy and threw it off the top of a building. And at the end of the song, you've got this rush and a splat at the bottom. It kind of ruins the mood. Anyway, so that's Bartley James Harvest. Oh my goodness. Number 3, a sad album to many, but a dance party to you. I'm not sure this is a dance party, but this album I came across on a recommendation from Rolling Stone magazine. I'd heard this singer a lot over the years, kind of big bandy style, but this album was recommended as something quite different, and it's on the Reprise label, or Reprise, depending on who you are, and it's Frank, the great Frank, September of My Years. Now, this album did not make any sense to me 30 years ago, because it's about a guy who is in the September of his years, and it's about growing old. And it's absolutely gorgeous album. Of course, Frank doesn't write the songs, but what a singer! It's arranged and conducted by Gordon Jenkins. So the track titles: title track, number 2, How Old Am I? Don't Wait Too Long. It Gets Lonely Early. This Is All I Ask. Last Night When We Were Young. The Man in the Looking Glass. It Was a Very Good Year, which you probably know. When the Wind Was Green. Hello Young Lovers. I say it now, Once Upon a Time, September song. Yeah, that is if you like a bit of crooning, a bit of reflection, reflecting on getting a bit old, man, this is such a great album. Frank Sinatra, September of My Years. It's a love song, but it's sad. This is the wonderful Peter Gabriel, and this is a live triple set from Growing Up Live. This was originally released on DVD as a live show. It's possibly my favourite live DVD. It's very varied, but it finishes with him at the piano doing Father, Son, which was originally on the OVO soundtrack, the Millennium Show that Gabriel wrote the music for. It's a beautiful, stately again, kind of just a wonderfully warm, loving kind of tribute to his aging father. And they were doing yoga together, and you could tell in the lyrics and the way that Gabriel delivers it that you can see that his father is ailing. Very sad. Right. A favourite sad lyric. This is by the great Randy Newman from Bad Love, and this is a song called I Miss You. Let me read you a bit of the lyrics of this one. I miss you. Where are we on this lyric sheet? Here we go. Him at the piano, just him at the piano. Might be a bit of orchestration later on, but it's mostly very sparse in its sound. This is a song for an ex-wife or ex-partner, ex-girlfriend. And the lyrics go, still in my heart, after all these years, separated by time and now by distance. I couldn't allow myself to feel the loss that I feel right now as I put this song down. You're far away and happy, I know, so with someone else, and it's a little bit late, 20 years or so, and it's a little bit cold for all those concerned, but I'd sell my soul and your souls for a song. So I'll pour my heart out. So he's writing a song. He's using that pain of separation after all those years, thinking, I can make a song out of this. And then the chorus kind of goes, I miss you, I'm sorry, but I do. And then I miss you, I'm sorry, but it's true. And I want to thank you for the good years and apologize for the rough ones. You must be laughing yourself sick up there in Idaho. But I wanted to write you one song before I quit, and this one's it. And then he goes on, I miss you, I miss you. It's such a, you know, all of us have got people who we used to know that we're separated from. They've moved on, we moved on. And every now and again you get this whiff of nostalgia and memories come flooding back. And that's just beautifully encapsulated in that song, I Miss You by Randy Newman. Oh my God, this was going to be a quick video, wasn't it? Anyway, never mind. A breakup song, an album. It's Celebrate by Kool and the Gang. No, it's not that one. No, what it is, it's Irene Wild by Ian Hunter from All American Alien Boy, his second solo album, I think released in 1976. And this is a song about an unrequited love, I think. So it resonates with me because I had a girlfriend way back in the day, and at a point where we separated for not the last time, because there was more time afterwards, but she left to go to Italy to be an au pair, and I saw her off at the bus station. So anyway, that'll make sense when I read these lyrics. When I was just 16, I was older. I stood waiting for a dream at Barker Street bus station every night. I think that might be in Shrewsbury in Shropshire. Anyway, when I tried to get it on, she just looked at me with scorn. My courage turned to dust and I took flight. For those looks, they seemed to say, you ain't nothing, go away. You're just a face in the crowd. That's Ian Hunter, that is. So I went home and I vowed I'm going to be somebody someday. Her name was Irene Wild. Oh, such beauty for a child. When she started dating boys, I nearly died. For I could not barely stand to see someone hold her hand. I felt I had to crawl away and hide. In my mother's living room, I composed so many tunes, all the same, just a frame for her name and just to say, I'm going to be somebody someday. Anyway, it goes on. But yeah, really sad lyric, but good in the end, I guess, because Ian Hunter went on to be somebody someday. Okay, right, what have we got here? Your favourite song by The Smiths, and that is from this album, and it's Big Mouth Strikes Again. Like a bolt from the blue. I saw them on the Red Wedge tour. I've talked about this before. Unannounced, they burst on stage, came up on the day from Manchester to Newcastle and played 4 songs. One of them was Big Mouth. Fantastic. They actually, you know, the roof came off. It was amazing. Fantastic album, great band, and a wonderful song. The saddest song by a popular band. Oh my God, Smith's Overload. And this is Suffer Little Children. Now, those of you who are not from the UK probably won't know, and if you're younger, you won't know that back in the 60s, I was too young as well, really, I think it was back in the 60s or early 70s, there were some murders, abductions of children and murders in Manchester, or on the moors around Manchester. And this album closes with this track. Let me read some of the lyrics here. And it was notorious, particularly because one of the murderers was a woman, Myra Hindley. So anyway, over the moors, take me to the moors, dig a shallow grave, and I'll lay me down. Leslie Ann, with your pretty white beads, oh John, you'll never be a man, and you'll never see your home again, oh Manchester, so much to answer for. Edward, see those alluring lights? Tonight will be your very last night. A woman said, I know my son is dead. I'll never rest my hands on a sacred head. That's so sad. Yeah. Man, that's hard. Tears in Your Beer, a sad country song. Well, I thought that MJK Boston, with his love of country music, and Embryonic Brian, with his newfound love of country music, would be able to do this better than I can, because I'm not really a big country fan of traditional country music. This is an Americana album by the Handsome Family that came out in the 90s, called Through the Trees, and it opens with a track called Weightless Again. And it's like, I'm not going to read all the lyrics to this one, but it's got a line in it which is really kind of quite strong. And it says, this is why people OD on pills and jump from the Golden Gate Bridge. Anything to feel weightless again. Man, that idea of people being so lost, man. Anyway, your favourite sad soundtrack? Well, I've only got this one on CD, but I've got a version on vinyl here by John Williams, and cello played by Yo-Yo Ma, and it is the sweet Schindler's List. I mean, the film takes your breath away, and the music is unforgettable. Fantastic soundtrack. Oh, wow. I'm Only Happy When It Rains. An album you play when it's raining outside. John Martin, Solid Air. Mostly downbeat. Often it's a good late night album as well, but got some fantastic songs on it. The title track is just absolutely gorgeous. And the last one, last question, here we go. The sappiest, corniest, happiest bullshit song you've ever heard. It gets worse. I actually bought a copy as well, and I'm certain this was cheap, otherwise I wouldn't have bought it. And not only that, it goes on longer than the normal track, and that is Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves. Another toe-curling example of over-the-top emotions. Anyway, shout out to a sad bastard to do this vinyl tag. I'm going to shout out Mike MJK Boston, because I know he's sad because he's still in the process of trying to find a house and most of his vinyl is in storage. So he's going to really struggle here. But tough. You got to give it a go. So anyway, that's a sad start to 2025. Yeah, but first tag of many. Anyway, I'll get on. I'll see you later.
Happy New Year!